Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is RJ and this is another episode of Ask RJ. So this is the Q&A feature of my channel where you get your questions answered. Okay, so basically in this episode though, we're not actually answering any questions. What I'm doing is basically giving you a few updates on programs that we are using, or sort of just covering some queries that people have sort of brought up as well. Okay, so the first program we're going to be looking at is Firefaucet. Now, Firefaucet, obviously I talk about it a lot. It's a program that I think is a really great program. But obviously, not everybody does for certain reasons. Some people like it, but then have certain gripes about it. And basically, one of the ones that were brought to me recently is the convert. Basically, when you convert your coins, that they take a fee. And basically, a subscriber of mine, I can't remember who you are, I'm sure you'll remember, but basically said that the reason why they don't like Firefaucet and using the convert is basically because Firefaucet take 5% of your earnings. Okay, so basically, if we go into here and go into membership, so maybe basically the percentages have changed, because it says here exchange fees are now 3%. So obviously they could have been 5%. But if you are a Prime member, as I am here, which literally I'll only become a Prime member 3 days at a time. That is the minimum you can do, is 3 days at a time. And I'll come in here, I'll buy 3 days worth of Prime membership and I'll use it, and I'll get the cheaper rate of exchange and all the other benefits. And then basically, if I don't happen to be able to get in here again, I've not really lost anything, because I've used my 3 days or maybe 2 days, sometimes even 1 day, but still you're getting the benefit of being able to, so you're basically not getting any pop-ups. If you want to, you can place an advertisement in their chat, apparently, but the exchange fee goes down to 0.3, so from 3% to 0.3. And then you also get priority support, the Prime badge. I'm not really sure why that's a big deal. Decorated chat name, again, not a big deal. And custom avatar, again, for me, not a big deal. But the fact that you get your exchange limits bumped up by $5, your withdrawal limits are bumped up by $15, and your withdrawals go down to 0.3%. For me, it basically ends up paying for itself, especially if you're, I try to get in here at least every couple of days. So out of my 3 days, I should get 2 days worth of use. And I do believe that it pays for itself. So obviously, if that is the only thing that is holding you back, or holding many of you back from using Firefaucet, I personally say just sign up to Prime, get rid of all your pop-ups, get a better exchange fee, and for me, like I said, but I like it as a program anyway, so maybe I'm just biased, but like I say, I do feel that those benefits are worthwhile. And by me saying you become a Prime member, even if you are a referral of mine, I get nothing from that. I'm just saying I believe that the benefits outweigh the cost, so for me it is worth doing. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the next program, which I'm going to be giving you some updates on. Okay, so Rollercoin, as you can see, is basically the next program that we're going to be looking at. And for those of you that are not sure what Rollercoin is, basically it's dead simple. It is a virtual mining program, and the way you build up your power here is simply by playing arcade games. For those of you that you're not familiar with Rollercoin, I will put a link in the description to an earlier video which will give you a more of a better review and an overview of the program, so you sort of understand how it works and you can get yourself set up and running. Okay, so quickly, the basically update I'm giving here is I recently, in my last video when I was talking about this, I was basically saying I had a bit of a gripe about their RLT coins, because the only way you can purchase these gold miners, which are much more efficient, and basically they are essentially they, for what you're paying, you basically are getting a higher performing miner. So I only had one, and I always sort of had this bit of a gripe that to get RLT coin, it seemed near impossible. The only way you could purchase them, but to purchase them was quite pricey. If you were just using like your standard Satoshi coins, but then there's no way to mine them. But because of, I don't know if this is right, but basically because I think it's because of basically everything that is going on around the world, and the fact that Bitcoin has now dropped to like what is it, just over $5,000 per coin. They've basically put on this site that RLT coins are now cheaper to purchase. So I already had, so if we go in here, I already had 6 RLT coins in my account, and then I noticed that they had dropped. If you want to pick up 10 RLT, this is now only 15,000 satoshis. It was 20,000. I happen to have 19,000 satoshis in my account at the time. I basically quickly came in here, purchased 10, which then, because like I said, I had 6 already, gave me 16, which then allowed me to go and buy their cheapest gold miner. And basically what the difference is that what I bought 3 of these, and these were at something like around about 15,000 satoshis for 6.5 gigahashes. After they released the gold miners, they basically, you no longer got the 50% discount on any of the standard miners, so they went up to full price, and for 6.5 gigahashes is now basically twice the price, 30,000 satoshis. So I had 19,000 in my account, and I was aiming to get another 10,000 to come and buy that, and then all of a sudden the RLT coins dropped in price. So for 16 RLT I got 8 gigahashes. So I gained, what's that, 1.5 gigahashes by doing that trade on my Satoshis. So for those of you that have not spotted it, RLT tokens are at a low price. Go and get yourself 10. If you know, obviously if you've got more money, or buy them up while they're cheap and then get yourself some gold miners, or even but even if you've only got 10, if you can only afford 10, it's worth getting them 10 just hang on to those, and then you build up your satoshis, and then you never know, you might be able to get another 10, which obviously if you get to 24 you can get to 15 terahashes. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that to you guys, as I wasn't sure if everyone had spotted that. Okay, so let's quickly move on to the next program. Okay, so basically this is just another quick thing. Again, I don't know if this has come because of what's happening, or maybe the app has just decided to bump up what they're giving away. But this is the recent free Bitcoin Cash app, mobile app I did a video on. And as you can see in the video, if you do a survey, and like I said, if you try and do a survey, if you've got like a VPN or something like that, normally what it will do is it will realize you've got a VPN, and sometimes it will just do it anyway, and rather than you having to go through the slog of doing a survey, it will just instantly give you 140 satoshis. Well, basically after, you know, everything went slightly crazy around the world, all of a sudden, as you can see here on the right, they are now giving away 175 Satoshis straight away. If you know, obviously you might have to fill in a couple of questions, but normally, if you especially if you're using a VPN, not everybody does, but sometimes it might happen anyway, and it will just throw that in there. The other day I did about 5 on the bounce, and I got 175 Satoshis for every single one. It took me about 5 minutes because I didn't answer any questions, and then that's, you know, straight into my account. So again, another quick fire thing that I just wanted to point out. Not sure how many of you out there are actually using the app. You know, if you signed up for it, downloaded it, whatever, you might not have noticed that on the surveys they are now giving a standard fee if you don't complete the survey or don't even get into any questions, is now 175 Satoshis. Okay, so that's okay. This is I know it's fast and furious, but you know, I just, like I say, this is more of just a quick update on various programs that I believe are sort of changing or being altered because of things that are happening around the world. Okay, so let's move on to the next program. Okay, so Eobot is the last program that we're basically looking at. For basically, Eobot is a multi-coin cloud mining site, and for those of you that are not familiar with it, again, I'll put a video in the description so you can go and check that out. It's a full review. The only difference in that video is quite old, and on that video it shows that there is a free faucet to claim extra power. Unfortunately, that has been disabled a while back, but everything else of the program basically works the same. Okay, so what I'm going to be bringing to your attention today is actually, it's a subscriber of mine actually pointed it out yesterday, but I actually did a video on the same thing a month ago. I actually thought it was only a few videos ago when I spoke to him, but it was a month ago. It was actually on an episode of AskRJ, and it was episode number 9, and I discussed in length basically what I'm going to show you. And what it is the fact that 5.0 could possibly, well, it looks like it is going. So basically it says here, due to the falling Bitcoin price related to the stock market drop, which is related to everything that is currently going on in around the world with COVID-19, basically the fee of both 5.0 and 6.0 has risen above 100%. 5.0 has entered into redemption waiting period, while the maintenance fee of 6 has been temporarily reduced by our hosting facility. For more information here, so if we go here, basically what it says here is that the current fee is 100% at 5.0. This is 6.0, which is basically what we've been focusing on since episode 9 of AskRJ. I said that I would be focusing on 6.0 because I did have a feeling that 5.0 was going to go. But at the time, I wasn't thinking it was going to go because of COVID-19. I just had this feeling because they'd removed the ability to exchange between 5 and 6. They'd actually removed that option to exchange those between the two different versions of it. So anyway, so due to the recent COVID-19 virus and the extreme volatility, so basically what they're talking about there is they're talking about the extreme volatility of the price of Bitcoin, the fact that it's basically fluctuating all over the place because the stock markets around the world are basically doing the same. So why do the electricity fees increase and maintenance fees increase? So think of this as if the fees are $1 a month for electricity, and maintenance, you are mining your mining earnings are $2 a month. Okay, so then our fees are about 50% of your earnings. However, if Bitcoin mining difficulty or the price decreases by 25%, then your mining earnings will now only be $1.50 a month. The cost of electricity and maintenance is still $1 a month, but your mining earnings have dropped basically, and your profit margin have dropped. Now only have 33% profit margin. So basically what they're saying there is simply a bit like with so remember the recent video I did on hashing 24 and how I basically had decided to cut my losses, withdraw my profit, because I wasn't the amount I was earning was basically not covering my fees. So what hashing 24 were doing, were taking my maintenance fees and electricity fees out of my profit. So so basically that is the same thing that is happening here. So to basically just sort of demonstrate that, if we go over to, this is my hashing 24 account. So as you can see here, this is the withdrawal I made, which I have received that withdrawal. So obviously any of you that are involved in hashing 24, I have made a withdrawal and I've received that with no problem. But since that withdrawal, that's my fees. Look, I've lost 1100 there, 1000 there, 1200 there, 1100 there. Every day since I made that withdrawal, I have basically lost over 1000 satoshis. If you look at this number up here, when we left that, it was 17,000. So I've lost 5,000 satoshis since I made that withdrawal. So obviously, if things continue the way they are, there's no way that this account is ever gonna get to May with anything in it. I mean, even if I'd left the 200,000 in there, it would have maybe got to May with something in there, but it wouldn't have been enough to withdraw, because 200,000 is the minimum you can withdraw from hashing 24. So basically that is the same thing that is happening here with Eobot. That basically is just the accounts are just not producing enough to cover fees. So this is why Eobot is taking the steps that they are. But where is it? So if we go down here, yeah. So if what they're going to do is, if the mining fee remains at 100% over 10 days, they're going to tell you. Basically, they're going to remove 5.0, but they're going to announce instructions on how to redeem. I assume by when they say how to redeem your hardware, what they mean is basically how to sort of, make sure if you have 5.0, to try and make sure you don't lose too much of what you currently have in your account. I'm sure they'll do it in some way that basically they'll give you a percentage of that or something like that. What I might do is actually drop them an email and see if they can give me some sort of idea of what the procedure will be or something like that. But all of you that are currently using Eobot, regularly checking your account and regularly check out the news section for any updates on what is going on with their 5.0 gigahash, because obviously I don't want you guys losing out here. So just make sure you're checking in and keeping an eye on what is happening. Okay, so I'm going to round that up there. And for those of you that are new to my channel, I want to learn more about how to earn cryptocurrency for free, about cloud mining sites, about crypto investments, and lots of other crypto related stuff, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to tag that notification bell so you're alerted to all my new content as it comes online. And if you could smash that like button, absolutely amazing. Really helps out my channel, which then helps me bring more content to you. So take care. Please, please, please take care. We are all in the same boat at the moment. Look out for one another elderly neighbours, elderly relatives, anything like that. Anything you can do to help those people and even help yourself, protect yourself. I know a lot of people are saying, you know, that people are overreacting, which is causing mass panic and all these things. But at the end of the day, I'm not telling you to go out and suddenly buy your local corner shop all the food or all the water in there. All I'm saying is keep yourselves updated with what's going on. Take the necessary precautions. Okay, so on that note, look after yourselves, and I will speak to you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.